Here's something we haven't said in a while. There is a ceasefire instead of an escalation. I'm talking about Southeast Asia. Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to a ceasefire. After 5 days, the fighting has ended, and I must say this is a great bit of news. The last thing we needed was another protracted war, especially in Southeast Asia. But how exactly was the ceasefire reached? Will it stick? And what is the impact of this fighting? Well, the ceasefire is a result of mediation. The Thai and Cambodian prime ministers visited Malaysia today. They were hosted by the Malaysian leader Anwar Ibrahim. Ibrahim is also the chair of ASEAN. So he was keen to contain the fighting. But Thailand was reluctant at first. They're much stronger than Cambodia. Perhaps they wanted to establish their superiority. But then came Donald Trump. He threatened tariffs on Cambodia and Thailand. Both countries are looking for trade deals at this point. But Trump said no deal unless you talk, unless you end the fighting.
So I called the prime ministers of each, and I said, we're not going to make a trade deal unless you settle the war. A lot of people are killed, you know that, in a short period of time. The border, they're fighting pretty like wild. And I spoke to both of the prime ministers, and I think by the time I got off, I think they want to settle now.
It seems to have worked. Today, both prime ministers landed in Malaysia. They agreed on a ceasefire, no conditions, no delays, an immediate end to the fighting. In public, both sides appeared quite happy.
We'll set a condition for moving forward for our bilateral discussion to return to normalcy of the relationship and as a foundation for future de-escalation of forces.
Today's outcome reflects Thailand's desire for peaceful dissolution, while continuing to protect our sovereignty and the life of our people. We agree to a ceasefire with assurance measures that it will be carried out successfully in good faith by both sides.
How quickly things change. Until yesterday, Thailand and Cambodia were fighting. Today, their leaders were shaking hands. It's a good show of maturity, but it's also the result of coercive tactics. Thailand and Cambodia are heavily dependent on the US market. Both of them face 36% tariffs, but their ASEAN peers are better off. Just look at Indonesia and Vietnam. Both of them have secured trade deals with the US. They face only 20% tariffs. So frankly, Thailand and Cambodia were boxed in. Neither of them wanted a long war. And if they did not stop, they faced major tariffs. Which brings us to the second question. Will this ceasefire stick? So far, we've not heard of any violations. Both sides will be wary of upsetting the US president. Plus, they have suffered a lot. Thailand has had to evacuate 140,000 people. Cambodia has evacuated 135,000 people. In total, at least 33 have been killed, so there is no incentive to continue the fighting. Which brings us to the final question, what is the impact of this? There's a short and long-term impact. In the short term, it's a lot of uncertainty for people. Around 1.2 million Cambodians work in Thailand. Many of them are fleeing the country. We saw that even today. As the leaders talked in Malaysia, Cambodians were fleeing Thailand. Take a look. What do these people do? Should they return to Thailand? If they do, are they welcome anymore? Well, that's the short-term worry. In the long term, this dispute will continue to fester because there is no solution yet. The fighting began over a disputed border. It was drawn in the early 1900s during French rule. But Thailand has never accepted it. This round of fighting can be traced back to the month of May. There was a brief skirmish along the border. One Cambodian soldier was killed in the fight. Since then, tensions have been brewing. Military deployment was beefed up. Patrols were ramped up. Diplomats were expelled and finally all-out fighting. We saw similar scenes in 2008 as well. The disputed border led to clashes between the two sides. So it's happened twice in 16 years, and that is the worry. This was not some delicate expansionist plan. Neither side was actively looking for a land grab. In fact, they were looking to de-escalate. At one point, Thailand's suspended Prime Minister used personal diplomacy. She reached out to Cambodia's former strongman. Yet, things at the border deteriorated. It tells you how dangerous such disputes are. You don't need a well-planned escalation. All you need is a skirmish or a mishap at the border. Even that could drag you to a war.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakaijmo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.